We'll go to the US now because Hillary Clinton has begun testifying as part of a congressional investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. She is appearing before the House Oversight Committee. It is a closed-door hearing. Her husband, former US President Bill Clinton, will give evidence tomorrow. For more on this, we can speak to our correspondent in Washington, D.C., Simon Marks. Hi, Simon.
Hello, Corin.
Nice to talk to you. Yes, Guy's at doing the midday
it was
thing
on
now.
Midday.
That's
Sorry.
right. That's right. He's back in the chair. Great to see. Hey, tell me a little bit about this, because Hillary Clinton has just put out a statement, pretty carefully crafted one at that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, I don't know very much about what kind of shows they normally put on at the Chappaqua Performing Arts Center in upstate New York, but there is a heck of a show taking place there today. That is where Hillary Clinton is being deposed by the House Oversight Committee about a man she says she never met or doesn't remember meeting and knows nothing about. So in this opening statement, Hillary Clinton has indicated to members of the committee that she doesn't think she's got anything to tell them that's going to be vaguely useful for their investigation, but she knows who they should be talking to, and that is President Donald Trump. She says that the committee, if it was serious about trying to get to the bottom of Epstein's crimes, would not be wasting its time with the kind of made-for-TV show that is underway today and tomorrow in Chappaqua, where she today and Bill Clinton tomorrow are being interviewed by the committee. They would instead be focusing their fire on finding out more about why Donald Trump's name is mentioned 10,000 times in the documents that were released late last month, more than 3 million pages of them. And fueling all of that is a series of fresh questions for the White House about why those documents did not include any kind of reference to or summaries of 3 interviews that were conducted in 2019 with a woman who claims that she was abused by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on that House Oversight Committee, like Hillary Clinton, the woman that he was about to help depose, tried to deflect attention today firmly on the Department of Justice and the White House.
We have seen the DOJ files and the archive manifest that clearly shows that the interviews and information around this survivor have been removed and are missing from the DOJ files. Where are these files? Who removed them? Those questions have to be answered.
And the Department of Justice now says that it is engaged in a review to answer those questions, and says that if they discover that some paperwork was improperly held back, then, of course, in the words of the department spokeswoman, those documents will be released to the public and also, of course, to the committee. So suddenly, on a day when the Klieg lights are supposed to be on the Clintons and Democrats on the committee, and reporting that raises fresh questions about that Epstein accuser and the number of interviews that FBI investigators conducted with her, are putting a fresh focus on President Trump's claims that the files completely absolve him.
I mean, is it fair to say that this is a political exercise to try and deflect the Epstein issue onto the Clintons and the Democrats? Or, in fact, there were Democrats who voted for this, right? And there is perhaps more of a question mark around Bill Clinton and the relationship with Epstein rather than Hillary.
Well, that's absolutely true. As we know, Bill Clinton is pictured on numerous occasions with Jeffrey Epstein and with women about whom we know nothing because their identities have been redacted by the Department of Justice. He says he flew on Epstein's plane 4 times. There are some suggestions that that number may in fact have been as many as 6. He says he never went to Epstein's island, and there has been no evidence to support President Trump's claim that Bill Clinton visited the island returned as many as 28 times. So investigators certainly have more complicated questions for the former president tomorrow than they do today for the former Secretary of State. But remember, it's not just Democrats that are trying to deflect attention back onto President Trump. There are dissident Republicans, men like Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky, who have serious questions about whether there is an active cover-up underway at the Department of Justice by Trump's entirely pliant, entirely loyal, in no way independent Attorney General Pam Bondi. And, all of the reporting that the New York Times and others have engaged in over the last 48 to 72 hours has only further fueled the notion, the sense, that there might be some kind of a cover-up of Donald Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein underway.
Thank you very much for that. That is Simon Marks, our Washington DC correspondent this morning.